I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and ride on time.
You're okay. Okay, so Bib's a little jumpy. He hasn't been worked with in a couple of days. That's normal for him. If you guys look at his face, can you see what's on his face? There's little splatters of blood. Now, I have looked all over his body, and I can't find any blood anywhere else. I felt all over his face. There's no cuts. So what I'm thinking happened is we've had a couple of coyotes coming down the last few days. And there's actually some blood back by our back kennel closer to the mountain. So I don't know if maybe something got a hold of a rabbit or a cat or something and just brought it through the pasture and maybe he smelled the blood. Is that what happened? I don't know. But I'm going to keep an eye on him over the night. I mean, he's not like sick or anything, but I just kind of wanted to check. I've been checking him all over and I'm not finding any blood anywhere else. So just wanted to get that disclaimer so that if you guys seen that, you're like, oh, why aren't you concerned? Well, I'm not concerned because there's no cuts there. So either he rubbed his face on the post and got a little cut somewhere. Maybe something killed something and brought it through the pasture and he smelled the blood. Honestly, I don't know. But I'm going to do a thorough check again before I turn him loose. So today's video, I'm just doing this introduction. But it's going to be probably a voiceover. Hi, buddy. This is going to be a series. I'm not sure how many parts. I'm thinking, if I counted right, probably 4 or 5 parts. Because if I did the whole thing in one video, it'd probably be about a 2-hour video with how long I talk and how long I do things. So, yeah. But this is the beginning of how to trailer train your horse without a trailer. Because the mares were here for 3 years. Rose had been on a trailer, from my understanding, twice. When they brought her from the sale and then when they brought her to me. And Skyla had been on the one time that they brought her to me with Rose. From my understanding, they were crowded into a small pasture and chased into a trailer. Rose both times and Skyla the one time. So they never had a good experience with the trailer. And then they were brought here. They were here for almost 3 years. I think it was 3 years on the dot. Or 2.5 years or something like that. But anyways, I did a lot of what I'm going to be showing you guys in this series. And when the owner came and got the mares, when they dropped off Boog 7 months ago, something like that, the girls loaded right up with me. Rose was a little shaky. If he hadn't been so impatient and I had loaded her and unloaded her a few times, she would have been fine. The way I personally like to trailer train, I like to have them in a round pen, and I'll put the trailer on the outside of the round pen, and I'll put hay in there and water in there, tie both gates open so the horse doesn't get in and get trapped, and I'll leave them like that for a few days, and they can go in and out as they please. That's their only shelter option. Then I might hitch it up and drive around the block a couple times, back it back in, and I kind of like to do it slow like that. But in the normal trailer training like Blue Rock Horsemanship does, how she works the horse on the outside, loads him up, lets him rest inside. But I'm going to stop rambling and I'll do the voiceover. But I wanted to get that out of the way and let you know what this was, an introduction show. He may be a little pushy because I just fed him. And he doesn't like being taken away from his food. And that's the reason I did it. He hates being taken away from his food. So he needs to learn, yes, you mister, needs to learn that just because you're upset about being taken away from food does not mean you don't get to listen. Now, I'm going to say that your horse, before doing any of these steps, needs to know the basics, needs to know how to lead, needs to know how to back up on command, needs to know how to yield the hindquarters, and needs to know how to lunge. Yes, the basics. All right, I'll probably start the voiceover now. And the first step is to get them to go in between something and be calm and quiet about it and not rushing. Because if they can't go between a tight space between you and something else, there's no way it's safe or a safe idea to get them on a trailer with you where there is no escape. Load that butt. goes a little faster and keeps backing up like he is, I'm just going to cut him off and make him turn quick. As long as he goes 12, I'm going to leave him alone. They always try to back away, I'm going to pull him back. See, right here, he's confused. He's trying to figure out what I'm asking, so I'm just going to keep the pressure up. Right there, I've been doing this for a few minutes now. Right there, he just got a little playful because I told him, you know what? You've been doing this a couple minutes now. Pay attention. I shouldn't have to be asking as much. So he kind of said, you know what? You're going to be loud with me. I'm going to get loud with you. He's just playing. So right now, he's just going to test it. I'm going to go right to that butt and back him up. There. He wants to get quick. I'm going to get quick. So I'm going to actually bring him up here. Send him around me all the way. And I'm going to keep that head in and drive the butt. So he's not as confident on this side going through. That's okay. We can work on it. When he gets a little quick, I'm just going to back him up. He's getting quick. Back him up. What he's doing is testing. Do I really have to pay attention on that side? Yes, you do. That was better. Wait, back it up. So I only want him to back him up when I'm asking. He wants to get quick. I'm going to get after that butt. I'm going to sit him in a circle. Drive the butt. Keep him on forward. Drive the butt. Keep him going forward. And now sit him straight. You want to get quick? Let's go back to that circle. Right there, he's getting a little frisky. He wants to hit his neck on me. I'm going to put my elbow up and say no. There. So he's not horrible. He's just testing. That's fine. It's good for horses to test you. You learn so much about yourself and your patience. Somebody might ask why I'm not circling in that way. That way he's calm and quiet and collected. He's like, okay, I got this. This way, he's kind of like, you're really going to have to make me move if you want me to move. So that's why I'm getting after him more on this side than this side. Anybody tell how much better that is? Okay. Step 2. Step 2, you want him to go in and out of the gate without freaking out. And eventually you want him to be able to stop in the middle of the gate without moving. Now these up here, the pool noodles we added because he's head shy. So it's actually really good for him. It adds more for him to pay attention to. I want him to walk in and yield the butt. Now obviously he's not going to yield straight right away. I haven't done this in a while with him. So I'm not expecting perfection. Do not expect perfection if you haven't done it in a while. Bring him out. Yielding. I'm gonna love on him for a minute. What a good boy. What a good boy. Notice how I'm letting the rope slide. I'm not hanging tight where he can't turn his body. Turn him back. There, I just wanted him to straighten up and get his head off the gate. So I just kind of tapped the chain against the gate and he backed up. Then he tried to come out, so I stopped him. Now I'm going to bring him halfway through and ask him to stop. Oh. Bring him through a little bit more. Whoa. Good boy, like that. I'm going to let him stand there for a minute and think. I'm going to back him up. Do it from both sides, inside and outside of the gate. What happens if you only practice trailer loading on the outside of the gate or on the outside of the trailer instead of the inside? The moment that you get inside with them, they might feel like they're a little bit more trapped because there's less room now. Do it on the inside and the outside. Sometimes I'll let that rope catch the fence if he's getting a little strong. So right there, he got frisky. Not a big deal. I just clapped the rope twice to get his attention, asked him to stand. Now that he's standing, I'm going to leave him on for a second while he licks and chews and thinks. Put him back in. I told you guys, he's going to be frisky. He hasn't been worked with, and he got taken away from his food. Good, that I like. So don't just work with them on a good day when everything is going great, because the one day that something's going bad, you or the horse is going to end up hurt. I'm going to ask him to come halfway out. Whoa. Give him a little pop right there. Oh boy. Ask him to come out a little bit more. Whoa. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is ask him to stop while going in. Whoa. Whoa. So there he didn't stop when he was asked. So I just kind of made him back in there a little bit. So I'm going to have to lead him in this way and ask him to stand. I'm going to get out of the way because I know he's feeling a little fresh. Whoa. Good boy. Pass him back. I'm going to try sitting him in this way and getting him to stop halfway. Whoa. I want his head first. Whoa. Whoa. There. Leave him alone for a second. Ask him to back out. Kind of wave it a little because he's not moving out as quick as I'd like. There you go. Now I'm going to go to the inside and send him in and out. Same thing on this side. You're Hold that butt out there. Good boy. Bring it back in. So if he's got any yield to the slightest pressure, I'm just going to give him a little pop on the halter and get after him a little bit. The whole point of this is to make sure he can go in and out of the tight space with me on either side, asking him to stop at random times, asking him to yield whenever I'm asking him to back and pay attention in a tight space. I already know he's good with it. He's not perfect, but with a little bit more practice, he'd be about there. So, you notice when I'm sending him in and out, I'm not having to really use the whip to send him back out or to send him back in. Once in a while I'll have to crack it a little bit, but I'm not having to use it all the time like you would in the beginning. So now what I'm going to do is make it tricky on myself. I'm going to stand on the other side of the gate. Sometimes they think you can't reach him, so they won't listen as well. So I'm going to point. See how he's coming my way? I'm just going to stick this through the fence and wait. There. Now if he pulls, the fence is going to catch him. Put him out. Tighten up that rope. So I only tighten the rope when I feel like he's not going to yield. If he feels like he's not going to yield, I'll tighten and pull it against the fence to give you some leverage to get him to stop. See that butt? Good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is ask him to stand still halfway through. Whoa. Whoa. So right there, if he went to go through, I gave him the option by pulling, saying, well, again. If he had kept going through, I just would have backed him up and asked him to stand. So since he stood, he gets to come in. Gonna practice sending him out and whoa. Whoa. Just help him out a little bit and pull on that halter. Send him forward a little bit. Whoa. There. It's okay. Whoa. There. I don't care that these are flapping and staring him. Good forward. I'm going to ask him to back in. Okay, I tried to go through me right there. I'm just going to ask him to back up. Okay. So he's just testing. He's trying to figure out what he has to listen to. Send it. Whoa. Good boy. Oh. Another thing to test. Can you tap on him in a tight space? Can you put on him in a tight space? Oh boy. Back it up. See how long we're at? Go. Stand. Okay, we're at 20 minutes. That's the end of today's, that's the end for today. And we'll see you guys in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, I don't know yet, for part 2.